And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as if by magic a genie appeared. It's the 31st of March 2021. I'm Richard Vobes, and this is the Vobes Show. It's very nice of you to join me on a Wednesday midweek, ladies and gentlemen, with a day that wasn't as sunny as yesterday, which was the hottest sun of the year, apparently. The hottest day, I think maybe is the right way of putting it. It's lovely to be here and to join you, wherever you happen to be, in your house, in your car, in your yacht, going round and disappearing up the Bermuda Triangle, wherever you happen to be. Perhaps you're on Moonbase Alpha, or you're up there in Thunderbird 5, watching the Vogue Show instead of making sure that there are no catastrophes across the world. Who knows? It's lovely to be beaming into your living room, onto your iPad, your nose pad, your ear pad, your foot pad, whatever it may be. I'm here just for you. Oh, how generous a person I am, indeed. Let's find out who's out there in the Vobosphere. First of all, before we crack on to another exciting show, lots of people. So that's nice. There we are. That's reduced the roll call very swiftly. No, but there are plenty of people out there, and you know who you are. Now, tonight, as a special thing, you can become a guest on the show. Yes, your guest is as good as mine. And I have pinned in the chat room a link. And if you press that link, your chair will explode. You will grow a big load of frizzy hair. You'll have a big comedy nose. And you'll also get beamed into the Vobe Show waiting room. And there in the waiting room, I can tell you, there is already a handsome young fellow. I can see him there. He's looking at me, thinking, who's he talking about? But he's there ready to join us. Now, I'm going to bring him on in a second, ladies and gentlemen, which is going to be marvellous. But because I have been a bit dim-witted on this, when whoever comes in will be credited as Julia Hartley, because they'll appear in this very spot here. Look, they're next to me, that side, isn't it? There, you will have a person who will become the lovely Julia. But it isn't lovely Julia. I just thought I'd make that absolutely abundantly clear because I haven't changed the graphic because I am a little bit slow. So we'll see how it goes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring on our first guest and see how we go with this. It's a bit impromptu and a bit mad. So let's add to the scene. Here we go. And now I have to put the headphones on. And then we can hear a little bit of feedback there. So, gentleman there with the glasses and the green jumper, whom I have a vague idea who it might be, but could you turn down the YouTube channel so that we don't hear that coming back?
Mine's turned down.
That's it. He can't turn it down now. Look. There we go. Look at that.
How's that?
That's better. I can still hear myself. I'm still getting an echo from somewhere, and I'm not quite sure.
Well, I can see somebody else on the screen.
Yeah, you can. Don't look at that one. Yes. If you look at the stream going out. Oh, wait a minute. You should be able to see. You can see you and me, but don't worry about the other bearded wonder in the background there. A very nice gentleman who we'll bring on in a second. But I'm hearing a delay of me. Am I on headphone? Am I on loudspeakers?
I can still hear.
No, I'm on my iPad. The TV is turned right down. I can the only volume I've got is coming through my iPad.
Oh, right. Okay. So am I hearing myself through your iPad coming back at me?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. Sounds like Emma knows what's going on.
Yeah. That technology and Emma don't go together.
Technology. So, do you have any headphones? Somewhere. Yeah, because what we're hearing is the volume that when I come out of your headphone, out of the thing that you can hear me by, that's also going back in your microphone and then coming back to me again. And I think we can all hear that, which is a shame.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
It does sound good, but I think that people will find that very confusing. On the other hand, I'm just going to take you away for a second, and we'll just. Wait a minute. I wonder if it's Mr. Hang on a minute. Let's add somebody else to the screen. Here we. We'll just. Why am I hearing that back? I shouldn't be hearing it at all. Oh, I've stopped hearing it now. Wait a minute. I wonder if it's Mr. Hang on a minute. Let's add somebody else to the. Ah, wait a second. I think it was from. I think it was not. I've been ever so mean. That's. We've got the wonderful Andrew Norris. There. Oh my goodness, people are coming in thick and fast. This was not such a good idea. Right, just bear with me a second. Steve, we've got Andrew Norris there, who now I should be able to hear. Hello, Andrew.
Sean James Cameron.
Oh, it's Sean James Cameron. I beg your pardon. I can't recognise people in the dark. If you put the light on, it'd be so much easier. I think I was actually hearing it through yours, to be honest with you. I think you were the culprit. And
Hi, Richard. Hi.
right, okay, so we've got that sorted. Hang on, let me just do one thing to get rid of that.
With
there
a
we go.
knife.
That's a bit better. Now, let me see what happens if I bring back add to scene. Here we go. That's Steve Baker. Hello, Steve. Now, I wrongly accused you of the audio, but I think it was actually coming because when I muted Andrew, suddenly I couldn't hear myself. So that was relief to much of the audience and everybody else. We also have somebody else hanging around in the dark there. I'm waiting for him to turn a light on so we can see him a bit better. We'll come to him in a moment. Very nice. Oh, he's moving around the house, but never mind all that. So, hello. Nice to see you, gentlemen. Welcome to the Vobes Show. Very kind of you to be a guest on the show. First of all, Steve, you're what is that thing behind you? It looks like an organ in a church.
It's a pie safe.
It's what, a fireplace?
A pie safe.
Thanks for the invite.
It's a pie safe.
Pie safe, yeah. It's kind of what people used to store food in years ago.
Oh, right. So like a bit like a small pantry.
Yes, it's got gaps in there for air to flow round, but we use it for storing dried foods and cutlery and plates. And
Oh, very nice. It looks delightful. And hello to you, Andrew Norris, down there on the bottom of the screen. He's obviously not listening. Are you listening, Andrew? He's probably chilled out listening to... Look, he's drinking wine and everything. He's not paying the slightest attention.
It's a big green what he's drinking, isn't it?
Hello there, Richard.
Oh,
And everyone. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
are you watching... Oh, this is where it gets a bit bizarre.
Juice.
Oh, it's juice. So I see it looked like a green drink. It was the bottom of the glass.
There's a delay. There's a long delay.
Yes. Are you watching the video stream? I mean, the YouTube stream.
The bottom.
Are you watching?
Yes.
Well, that's no good.
And I was watching the video
Yes,
stream.
the YouTube one. Don't watch the YouTube one because that's like
I'm watching.
10 seconds behind.
Yes. The YouTube one is a long way behind and isn't in real time.
No, I'm not watching the. No, I'm
Oh.
not.
But it can't be that you're in Croatia and that's the difference. Because I can talk to Steve in real time. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Richard.
There we are. Look. Proof is going on. Well, this is all a bit mad. But yes.
Let me hang on. Let me turn.
He's going to fiddle. Whilst you fiddle with that, Andrew, there was some.
Okay, is that better?
I don't know. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Yeah. Can you
Yeah,
hear
there
me?
we go. Now we've got real time. That's how it should be. It should be. I was reliably informed by Eric when he.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you do?
Well, I muted the video, the YouTube stream, and I switched on the voice for the whatever this is.
Whatever this ninja
live
I think
stream,
it's
yeah,
called. Oh,
yeah.
brilliant! Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Oh, this is superb. How lovely is that?
Okay, great.
God, blimey, there we go. So, welcome along.
Awesome.
We've got Sean James Cameron to add into this nonsense. So let's bring him in as well and see how this holds up. Oh God, there's a noise going on now.
The chips are on. Does anybody else want some chips?
Some chips.
Sweet potato chips.
Well, that sounds very nice. Sweet potato chips. How many have you got, and can you get them down? Do you use
I can
Deliveroo?
accommodate for about 80.
87. Golly, there's a lot of you. There's a lot of you eating food there. Then, what have you going? What have you got with the chips?
Got a bit of chicken, freshly plucked this morning.
Oh, really? Off the plot?
Yeah, and some green beans.
And some green beans. Oh, nice. And what are you going to do with the chicken? Have you marinating it or anything like that?
No, I've just put it into a pan there.
Oh,
fry
nice.
it up,
Yep.
and then do a salad, and then I'll sit down and watch the Vobes show.
And watch the Vobes show. Hang on, where's Andrew Norris? So Andrew Norris is over there. Sorry, I'm just trying to get you all into the scene.
Has he had a drink?
Robert's on. I see Robert.
You
Robbie.
can see what Robert. Oh, has
Yeah.
he joined down the bottom there? Oh, blimey! Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Hang on. Just bear
You
with
can
me.
take me off if you want to. I just came on in case anybody else didn't.
No, stay in there for a second. We're gonna. This is an impromptu madness show of get everybody on the screen and see what happens. If you're joining,
Can Sean not bang around with cutlery? It's
yes,
very
please
loud.
don't do that. Right, hang on.
Rightio,
I'm
okay.
just trying to find all the different cameras so that I can fiddle around with this.
I'll
Vobes.
just have a tea. I'll just put them on top of the tea towel.
Oh, good
Just
plan.
Don't move
Right,
them at all.
I'm going to move myself down there. There we go. Look at that. Now, Andrew Norris, we can't see you terribly well. Can you move to your right?
Yeah, okay. I'll turn the
Oh, there we
camera
go.
around.
Look at that. That's fantastic. Now we've got the boys in here. We've got two more people. It seems we've got Robert Croser and it looks like
Robbie.
Sean Ford, I think, out there. So let us see if we can bring any of those. Right. So let's bring in, this is going to be interesting. Add to scene. Here we have Robert Croser. I'm just going to get rid of me for the minute because I'm probably in the way.
Yeah,
that's-
get out of the way, Richard.
Yeah, thanks. Right, okay, thank you for that. Right, what we've got to try and do. You see, I have no control over the individual people. Right, let's also add. Hello, Robert. Can you hear us?
Okay.
Robbie,
speak to us.
are you there?
Yeah, nice forehead. Yeah.
Nice for. It's because he's on his phone. Dear, oh dear. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to this, those people who are listening to this, let me just come back to some sort of semblance of normality here for one moment. Hello to everybody else. You're joining a sort of mad impromptu show. We're just bunging on Ninja, not because we haven't got videos and things to show, we have, but just for the first half an hour or so, just thought it'd be nice to have a little muck about with the webcams. We will be having an all-male strip show a bit later on. I believe the boys are getting themselves all ready for it. Robert Croser will be starting us off, of course, and Sean James Cameron will be doing his chicken impression at the end of it. But in the meantime, a big hello to all the people out there in the chat. I'll come back to you shortly. Please don't go away. You're all valuable people, and we love you dearly. But in the meantime, I just want to bring in Sean Ford now onto the scene. God knows how this... You're all got a little bit cramped in here, and I have very little control on how to manipulate this. So
there's not a lot of room inside here. Really.
Yes, I know. Sorry, it's not a lot of room, but there we are. Look, we do have.
We're all cramped down, and we're like crouching down and hiding.
Yeah, there we go. So, hello, Sean. Hello, nice to see you.
Hello.
Hey, Sean. Good to see you.
Excellent. Hello. I can't see any of you. My screen's frozen, but I think the delay's timed all right, isn't it?
We can hear you.
There's no delay, I mean.
You may not be moving, because my internet now is having to look after all you. Robert Croce has disappeared. Actually, now you've all grown a bit. That's better in the screen. No disrespect to Robert.
It's going well.
So that's great. So what is that? What is that cat-like thing that Sean's got there? Sean James Cameron. We've got the two Seans on the bottom. Has Sean frozen? It looks like he's frozen. Are you frozen?
Well, me.
Pretending frozen.
Frozen.
Let it go, let it go.
That is Robert. That is the Robert Croce mouth. Hello, Robert.
Hello, Richard. How are you?
Yes, I'm very.
Hi, Andrew. Happy birthday. Hello, Sean from London, via Cardiff. How are you?
Originally from Wales.
Hello.
Yes, lovely.
Lived in Toronto once.
Now, Sean James Cameron, can you hear us?
Yes.
What is that cat you have in front of you?
Sean James Cameron's got a cat. Lovely.
Somebody tried, it's a cat that a friend of mine tried to sell, but nobody on eBay wanted to buy it. So it's now sitting on top of our pianola.
Your piano?
Oh, he's got a pianola. That's nice.
Who's playing the piano? Oh, is that you? That's your piano there. And what is it made of? Is it made of wood?
And I'm worried that if I just paint this
Yes.
red,
It's an old-fashioned one.
and not so much of the thing is red.
All together.
Does anybody know the words?
No.
No.
Oh.
Oh,
I love no.
Well, this is fun,
Just
isn't
sat
it?
on a few balls.
What have you got there? Balls?
Balls from the cat.
Oh,
The
right.
cat likes to play with balls.
Yes. Well, the wooden cat.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know it? Up above you, this is a bit like Celebrity Squares, isn't it? Do you remember Celebrity Squares? Up there, we've got
Whose dog is that?
lovely Steve up at the top there with a dog. Tell us about your dog, Steve.
This is Bo.
Steve.
This is Bo. He saw the cat on the screen and thought the cat felt lonely, so he decided to join us.
Oh, lovely to see him. What kind of dog is he?
He's a Lhasa Apso.
He's a what? A lager?
Lhasa Apso, not Lager Apso, Lhasa Apso.
Lhasa Rapso, nice.
Kept by the Tibetan monks.
He does what with monks? Sorry, you're quite quiet.
Tibetan monks kept Lhasa Apso as guard dogs.
Oh, right, he's a guard dog, is he? Sean Ford over there preening himself with his hair. Hello to you. Hello. Now, you and I are having a conversation tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. Is that right? You're up for that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, good, because
Prepared
we're
for that. I've got
recording
the
one
script
of
ready.
the patrons in conversation with podcasts, which hopefully will be.
Yes,
Which will
good old.
hopefully be interesting. Where have you been? Where have you been today? Because you're an early riser, aren't you?
Well, at the weekends mainly when I go out and do these little videos for everybody. So I haven't been out apart from my lunchtime walk. I must generally push myself.
And Andrew Norris, we've had wonderful sunshine here over the last couple of days, although not so much today. Yesterday, I think, was the warmest day of the year. And certainly they're saying it's the warmest March on record, although I seem to remember last year being in lockdown, sitting on my step in the sunshine when it was actually quiet on the road. What's it been like with you weather-wise?
Here it's been fantastic. We were down on the Dalmatian coast until yesterday, and we've come back to the village. I'm on my own now in the village, but we've had a beautiful sunny day, and I've been clearing my rhubarb, clearing of weeds, and there's a little wooded area which we've been cutting back all the undergrowth and just opening it out. It's been really wonderful here.
Oh, I'm so pleased. And have you been making any more of your fantastic videos recently?
Yeah, I put one out each week. Every Saturday morning, a new one comes out.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you're credited in one.
Am
so
I?
You've got to watch them all the ones that you haven't seen. You need to watch to find out which one you are.
To find out which one. Well, it must be the most recent one then, I imagine. So. Not necessarily. No, that's true. It's a good test. Actually, in I don't know how many videos I've got, but in one of the 1,000 videos I've put up this week, I think there is a 20-second. Hello, what's that going on?
I'm going to have to go because I can smell burning and I can see a bit of smoke. I'll see you later.
Yeah, take care. Well, that's. Who's got the television on?
It's me. I'll turn it off, won't I?
It's all right. I've turned you off.
Robbie.
I've turned you off, Robbie. There we go. Look, you can't have the television in the background. Well, this is all madness. Well, anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's killing time. I think we should play a video at the moment. Yeah. I think we should go over to a video. And Sean James Cameron has just gone. He's burning his house down, which was very nice of him to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to play his video. He sent in a video. Now, I don't know whether Sean has sent in a video before, but we've got one. So what I now need to do is just mute everybody else to stop them from interfering on the audio. So you shouldn't be able to hear anybody else. Let me just check. No, can't hear a thing. I don't know actually if they can talk to themselves, just so you can see what's going on. If I do this, you'll see into the special area. This is what I see, and I have all these different control panels here to make sure they're all behaving themselves, which is all very interesting. So you can see I can mute them. But the one thing I would like to be able to do is to press a button so when that talking to one person, their picture grows bigger than everybody else's. That would be nice. If anyone's good at any software and can design a slightly improved version of this, that would be fantastic. Do get in touch. But anyway, that's what you can see that I can see, if you see what I mean. Well, anyway. So there we go. We won't be doing that all evening. We'll go back to phone calls and all of that, but I just thought that would be a bit of fun. Now, hopefully I can play a video and it will play all the way through. This is Sean James Cameron. He's not on his allotment. No, he's got a new thing going and it looks very interesting and it's very highly well and put together. So let's go into the old video box and see what he's up to with the London Loop.
Samuel Johnson once wrote, "When a man is tired of London, he is tired of life."
But sometimes you can become bored of London.
With its constant hustle, bustle, noise and bright lights. But look again and you'll find a hidden, more quieter London, beyond the city centre, but still within easy reach of public transport. The London Outer Orbital Path, affectionately known as the London Loop, began in 1996 and was completed in 2001. Divided into 24 sections, the trail travels 150 miles, that's 224 kilometres, around London. So join me as I explore London and in this series, walk in the London Loop.
So here we are at the start of the walk. I've come out of Erith train station and it's not the most auspicious start. We're surrounded by a motorway, but you have to go down this track here. These are the signs I'll be looking out for on my journey, the London Loop signs. So that's the train station there. And we just go under this underpass, past the college. So just to get bearings, the station is behind this building, which is a college. And you come down this road into Stonewood Road and carry on walking, and you can see over in the corner there, just behind the bus, is Jubilee Gardens, and that is the official start of the London Loop. Nice clear signage, I must say. That's a lot easier to follow that. So it looks like there's a bit of work going on, building new apartments. There's a lot of building I noticed on the train coming down, so this area is obviously in a lot of development. From a gardening point of view, there's not much to look at in Jubilee Gardens. Obviously it's the spring, so there are some spring bulbs out and a bit of a nautical theme there, because we're quite close to the Thames, and I'm assuming the Thames is just on the other side of that low wall. Let's have a look. Oh wow, I wasn't expecting to see that. This is the Thames estuary. Oh look, they've got some wind turbines down there. And that must be part of the industrial section of London. I wonder what's in there. It's nice and peaceful down here. I wonder if this gets completely covered in water when the tide's in. Oh look, there's another windmill down there. And that bridge, right in the distance, I think that's the Dartford Bridge.
So presumably that was... Oh, hello. We're in a strange situation here. Let me just come out of that for a moment. There we go. Yeah, presumably that was the Elizabeth Bridge, wasn't it? The Queen Elizabeth Bridge at the end there. Brilliant stuff. Thank you so much, Sean. Interesting that you say it's 150 miles all the way round. I believe it's something like 35 miles across from one end to the other, and pretty much the same again. I've been reading a book about the changes in England in the last 100 years. And I have to say, I'm sitting there reading it, and it starts in 1900. It sort of finishes about 2000, which obviously is the 100 years. And I sit there and I read this thing, and I am weeping, tears streaming down my eyes, ladies and gentlemen, because I found that so much has changed, and there's a whole section on London, and it was just talking about how London and all these wonderful rural villages all around the train, like Golders Green, for example. Apparently there was barely anything at Golders Green, just fields, and then they extended the railway to Golders Green because there was a crossroads, and it was quite handy for people to get off at the crossroads and get on a bus. And suddenly speculators came in. This is around the beginning of 1900, just before and after the First World War. Speculators came in, and before the beginning of the the Second World War, the whole place was concreted over. Farms had been built over. It's quite amazing. Let's go and see if we've got our friendly bunch of people in there. Look, here we go. They're all drifting in. That's me on the top there. That's hang on. I need to go into the. There's the control room. Before we do that, there is somebody said they pointed out, and I hadn't noticed this before. There's a thing called deafen guest. What happens if I press deafen guest and blind guest? So I'm just going to try this with Andrew Norris. Oh no, he's got headphones on. That's a bit unfair. I'm going to see what happens if I blind him. I've no idea. I'm going to unmute Andrew. What's happened to you, Andrew? I blinded you. Does that make any difference? Oh, he needs to turn back the. He needs to. I've unmuted him.
I'm still here.
Oh, did anything happen when I blind you?
I can still see myself.
Oh right, that does nothing. What about this? Did that do anything?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I didn't deafen you, which is fantastic. I don't know what that does.
There's another long delay again.
Oh, sorry about that. Is that because you're now listening to the YouTube because you were watching the video? Let's bring in some of the other guests.
Waiting for Richard to unmute me.
Yes, I am unmuting it. I am unmuting everybody. Right, let me just come back to...
No.
What? No.
Oh, are we back?
Hang on. Yes, I did. I was watching the video.
Oh, there we are.
Now I've muted the YouTube channel.
Right. I need to add people back into the screen because we seem to have lost we've lost a few people.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Here we go.
I can hear you. I can't hear Richard.
You can hear me now?
Sean here present.
I'm
no,
still
I don't know,
here.
Richard's gone.
He's off on his own world.
Now we've lost Richard.
They've lost me. I wonder if that was that music.
Let's just have a party ourselves.
Forgot we're here.
Goodness. We've got Robert Croser twice here.
Why not?
This is
Robbie. Robbie, you're dominating the lower screen.
Yeah, there's two.
Am I, Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh, I do apologise.
I'm good. And
I think it's Aaron.
There's an extraordinary echo in your voice. Have you got a tape
Yes.
loop going?
Yeah. You've added yourself twice, and for some reason I can't get... Can you hear me?
Good.
Is that it, Richard?
Yeah.
Hey?
You need to go to the Andrew Norris store. Do you know the story of this? Yeah.
You can hear me now. I've muted myself.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, I did.
Can hear Richard.
How many have we got in there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we've got. Why have we got you twice? I don't understand why we've got.
Stereo, Richard. Stereo.
Can't get enough of Robbie.
Yeah, we just got the bottom of his head. All I can see, says Mark Donny McLeod, is Robert's head. Oh, there we go. That's much better. This is a right circus, says, come dance with me. It is. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you've joined us and you're wondering what the hell's going on. We just thought I would... originally, I had a chat with Phil. Do you remember last week before last, I had Phil Clark on, and he very kindly, we went to his pub and his basement, and he was very nice, and we had a pint and all of that. And we tentatively said, why don't we join up this Wednesday and do another little chat and talk about the world and the situation? Well, we both sort of forgot about it until about 10 minutes before the show. I said, oh, did we actually organise that? And he said, I think we kind of did, but I think I was waiting for you and you were waiting for me. So we're doing a rain check, and we'll do that another day. Why is these always looking peculiar on my head? Yeah, doing a rain check. Is that an Americanism? Oh, it is. Well, that's what I was told anyway. So don't let that worry you. Anyway, so I thought, well, rather than me just sitting here talking to nobody, I thought I'd get all you guys, whoever wanted to come on. And there we are. Look at you all, looking very smart and happy and jolly. The urban sprawl that we saw in that video that Sean James Cameron, when he showed us the Greater London map, It is quite frightening, isn't it, that we have such amount in the last 100 years, the population boom and the building that has gone on.
Yeah.
Thanks. There we are. That was the wise words from Andrew Norris.
Was that an observation, Richard?
Yeah. No, when I was living in Islington, I noticed that every little green space was being crammed with even this tiniest of building, just to fill that space, to maximize the economic potential. And the little roundabout at Old Street, last time I was there was a huge building going up on one section of that roundabout, which just blocked out all the sunlight. It was appalling. I'm so glad that I no longer live there.
I mean, I know people do like to live in cities and things, but it just seems. I mean, I live in a town and it's too busy for me. It just seems so mad that it can be so busy and so many people populated in such an area, and that in order to get out into any kind of green space, you've actually got to get in a car and go several miles in order to
take the underground to the end of the line.
Yeah, or take the underground. And it seems from the book I was reading, it's this is an ever expanding thing. Even though they put the green belt in to try and stop it from expanding, then the other side of the green belt, then more development came in, and I think they're still building in some of the green belt.
Yeah. But don't think, Richard. I mean, in our part
there's a lot
of the world,
pressure
on about the amount.
Hang on, sorry, Steve. Say again.
Yeah, the amount of houses that we need to build. Okay, if you look at Worthing and Angmering and Ferring, for example, and then beyond that towards Littlehampton and Bognor, it won't be long before you won't be able to demark where Worthing ends and Angmering begins, or where Angmering ends and Littlehampton begins, because it's just becoming one sprawl all the way along that corridor.
We have the Goring Gap, which is a tiny, tiny little lung, isn't it, between Goring and Ferring. And once that's joined up, you're basically then, and you could infill Kingston and East Preston, and then before you know it, you're pretty much then into Chichester, then to Portsmouth, then to Southampton, until you reach the New Forest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up in a place called Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire, and there was a village called Wendover that was about 8 miles down the road. If you go there today, you will see houses everywhere between Aylesbury and Wendover. There's no green space anymore that there used to be. And it's very hard.
Wendover is where the Icknield Way begins, isn't it?
Is it?
It is indeed. It's also where RAF is based. A very important RAF base from the World War II.
Right, yeah. I was there back in the 80s, I think, exploring the Icknield Way after reading Edward Thomas's wonderful account of the Icknield Way. And so I wanted to go and explore it. So I took a bus, I think, and bus and train or whatever, and bicycled to Wendover Hill, where it's apparently meant to the official start of the Icknield Way. It's great, yeah.
Julia M says, I live in a seaside town and can't walk to any countryside. It's bricks next to the sea. And I think this is one of the things that we've discovered in the last year, really, isn't it? During lockdown, that many people who perhaps relied on buses or trains and things found that they couldn't go and walk to the countryside. I mean, even where I am, it's a mile or so, maybe a mile and a bit, to get to the South Downs where I am, because it's all built up. And then if that's the only place you can get to, you just have to keep walking in the same bit of old countryside, along with the billion other people who are doing the same thing, especially during the lockdown situation. It must have been very tricky. Now at least we can get in our cars in the UK. What's it like in Croatia in terms of... Oh, down, Shep. Get down, Shep. What's it like in Croatia in terms of the lockdown? Why do you keep joining several times, Mr. Robert? Is it you doing it?
No, Zora's asleep here. He's
Who
here.
have we got there? We've got somebody's head just popped in there. Hang on a minute. Where's his head?
3.
I don't know why I've got. I can't seem to.
I got 3 of Robert's. Yeah, Zorro is.
Yeah, no, this
here.
one isn't Robert. There's another one. Who's this other person? Whose little head is hiding under a. You can't see him on the screen. I can't seem to bring him in. Where is he gone? He's not doing anything. I've just I can't remove anybody. What is the matter with this software? Someone, hang on, I'll just mute them anyway. Yeah.
Richard, what was your question about?
I can't remember. What's it like in? Have you released everybody from Croatia at the moment? Are you all still in lockdown?
Well, when we had the earthquake, the government decided to abandon the idea that you needed to get permission to leave the city. So we can travel wherever we want. There's no issue here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I came up yesterday on the motorway from the coast to the village here. It was like a 3.5, 4 hour journey, and I could count the number of cars on the fingers of 2 hands. The whole road pretty much all to myself. It was fantastic. You never get a motorway in UK looking like that.
No. Oh my goodness! Not unless it's Christmas Day at about 3 o'clock when everyone's sitting down to have their Christmas dinner, that's
definite.
Yeah. Then you're all right.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to bid you all good night because I think we've had a fun experiment, but I've got some other videos and bits and bobs to do. So thank you for your contribution, ladies and gentlemen. It's been wonderful.
Speak to Richard. He got it from the Andrew Norris store for me.
Yeah, there you go. Wonderful stuff. Brilliant to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I look forward to talking to the Sean Ford tomorrow for our podcast. And thank you very much for joining us for this. We'll go back to the normal show. I can get a shot of this and I can ensure that all these fine gentlemen now disappear. And I will unpin or remove our link from the chat room so that we don't get disgruntled anymore. So, we've got some photographs from Mark Burgess to put into the show. We've got a video from Robert Croser, which will be great. With I think he manages to reach the heads, so that will be worth looking for. Bernie is getting down to what I think is called Sewage Castle, and Mike Stevens shows us a bit more of his meadow. All to come in today's video show with me, Richard Vobes. Thank you very much for joining us. By the way, if you enjoy this show and you think it's quite fun and it amuses you, don't forget you can support the show. This is the only way I make a living, what with the Bald Explorer and the Naked Englishman and the Listen to Vobes. This is my full-time job. And I've noticed loads of YouTubers must be also in the same impecunious state that I am, because they're all out there with their begging bowls saying, please, please send in your money. And it's I'm trying not to put in the annoying adverts in the middle of YouTube videos. So many of them now do it that in the end, I just can't watch them. I would rather that you lovely people send me millions and that I can make my castles bigger and bigger, which would be much better. So don't forget to knock yourself over to baldexplorer.com, where you can chuck in a few. I don't want to do super chats and things like. I was watching a bloke doing live streams, and it was all about the money coming in, and I rarely ask for the money in the Vobe show. And it was just like, oh, hang on, there's a super chat. And people were just like paying £5 in order to speak, in order to get their message read out. And I think that's a shame, because, you know, I like to read out your messages. I don't think that you should have to pay for that. But if you want to support the show, that's up to you. Let's find out what you guys have been saying. Then we'll go into a video. So we've got, let's come back a bit. Graham Cass says, I'm surprised that the M35 circling the M25 hasn't been built yet. Yeah, is that... It probably needs it, because as soon as the M25 was built, it became a massive car park, didn't it? Rasputin of Artington says, I'm really lucky where I live, surrounded by fields and woods. I would hate to live in a city or have town life. Awful. Just remind me where you are. what part of the world that is. Ron Langley, down there in Aldwick, says all the villages are gradually being joined together and the villages will be a thing of the past. They're pretty much a thing of the past now, villages. I've been reading a book about villages as well, a different book. And it's quite sad when you think of how the villages developed over time, the purpose of the village, the community the villages had. And now, of course, they're very much the ghetto of the rich. If you can afford to live in a village, you're very well off, or you have very long lineage of family who still lives in a village in the UK. Most people now, like my son, have moved. My son has moved into a flat, his first time flat, but it's got two windows for the whole flat, and both of them at one end. So as you go deeper into this cavernous flat, there's no windows at all, just artificial lighting. And it's great that he's got his flat. It's great that he's got a foot on the ladder, but it's a shame. And the windows are titchy. What is it with blooming house builders who are building windows so small? We know how to build large apertures that are able to take loads. We can make great big steel RSJs. We can support these holes and design things. But no, you just think, well, it's only a bit of glass. Glass isn't that expensive, is it? But apparently it must be. Kathy B says, lovely Zorro. Yes, absolutely. Josephine Suter says, one's enough. Not quite sure what you're talking about there. But Michael White says they want to rewild the countryside, so let them see the building much more. Red Moon says, Robert Crowe says something to Robert and state, the people talking to each other. That was fun, says Sean Ford. Thank you very much, Sean. Kerry Baldwin says, Hailsham will soon be joined to Greater Eastbourne. That does sound like a thing that's happening. Chris F says, no more building, less bleeding cars. Rasputin of Artington says, I'm off at the south of Guildford. Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, south of Guildford, blimey. Robert Croser says, didn't reach the heads, sadly, but I will. Didn't reach the hedge in his. We're going to have a look at his video shortly. Clive Waterfall, Kathy B and I followed the Bald Explorer's recent footsteps yesterday by walking a bit of the Way and Arran Canal at Newbridge. Oh, wonderful. Amazed how much and quickly the water levels had lowered since. It does. I don't know why. It's quite a low-lying bit of land round there at the back of Billingshurst. But yeah, you go there in the winter and by golly, it floods like nobody's business. Josephine Suter says, I love living in the village of Storrington. It's a beautiful village, Storrington. But a bit noisy, though, isn't it? I mean, I did a video walking through Storrington last year, probably about a year ago, actually, during the lockdown. And that was the quietest I think it's ever been since the motor car arrived. And finally, on that, Chris F says, I know Guildford. I was born in Woking. And Woking's very built up, of course. Right, let's go into the video box, folks. Robert Croser is going to take us onto the continuation of his Armathwaite, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, walk. It's the end of it. Let's enjoy that.
Here I am at Journey's End. Just going to pan round. That is a rather nice sculpture. It's one of the Eden sculptures that are dotted along the Eden. This is called Vista. There's a rucksack, there's boots, there's socks, everything carved into it. If you look here, it's what looks like a towel or something, and there's a map basically where I am. You can just see it there. Now, it's called Vista for a reason. Just a minute, just look at that cap. Isn't that brilliant? Right, there is a reason why it's called Vista. Now, I'm going to pan round and let you all drink in this view. Look at that. It's like a scene from Deliverance. Squeal, piggy! Sorry, a bit of Tourette's there. If you know what I'm talking about when I say Deliverance, you'll know exactly what I mean. But this is more or less Journey's End. And it's called Vista because it's absolutely wonderful. About 100 200 feet down, there's the river there, the Eden, and it's quite a view. Trees are in the way, but I don't mind that. I know a lot of people that watch these videos wouldn't mind it either. So there you go, just look at that. That path takes you on to the next port of call, which is Ainstable, which is a village, pretty village, but there's not a lot there anymore. Pub closed about 10 years ago. It's a very nice church, and there's an outdoor centre. But this is just one of the Eden sculptures. There is one, the last one in my village, or on the village green at Rockcliffe, and that is called Global Warming. I've taken photographs of that before, no doubt you'll have seen them if you've seen my videos and stuff, but isn't that beautiful? Just a lump of sandstone carved with rucksacks, boots, a jacket, a cap, scarf, socks, things like that. Very ingenious, and even a map to show you exactly where you are. I'm just going to pan around again and show you my route home. Right, I'm going to head back now. I have to get my train. I'm going to head back now. I'm going to see if the church is open, because it's an ancient Anglo-Saxon church, and I know some people like churches, including me. And if I'm lucky, I might be able to find a standing stone, which I don't think anyone's seen before, but I'm going to look for it. So I'm going to try that. So I'm going to say toodle pip. Speak to you all soon.
So there we go. How interesting is that? Lovely stonework there. So you didn't actually reach the heads, but we look forward to seeing the heads on another occasion, which would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you for that. And it's nice to get videos like that where it's in 3 parts or several parts, because it gives us an excuse to keep coming back to see some more. So if you're on a walk and you fancy doing little snapshots of your walk, and you want to send them in little 3 parts or 4 parts or whatever, with little interesting things, then that would be great. Take advantage of the Robert Croser way. Ed Loud just reminding me that I've got a post pinned. I have got that pinned. I can't seem to delete it. I've been trying to delete it, but I can't actually remove it now for some reason. I don't know why. I press the 3 little, I don't know whether you see that, there's 3 little buttons, and you press it and you're supposed to be able to get a little drop down menu, but I can't see it, so I can't get rid of it. Sorry about that. It's a bit of an annoying thing. Anyway, so looks still very much open country up there in Cumbria, which is great to see. Lots of people there saying, thanks, Robert, great video. Station Master's Choice was that. Great views, says Colonel Craig Ratty. Where's Greta's statue? Yes, Greta Thunberg, or Thornberg, or whatever her name is, Thunberg, as some people say. They were going to have a statue. Is it up? Have they put it up in Winchester, the Doom Goblin? Is she up yet? She's got nothing to do with Winchester at all. I think it's got something to do with, is it the university or something's going green? And so therefore they want the Doom Goblin up there, making everybody feel, and nobody wants her there apparently in Winchester. Nobody really wants that. And do you think that's right, that a teenager gets a statue when all she's done is just told everybody else that how dare they? Is that the kind of statues we want in this day and age? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. We don't really apparently want the statues of people who've actually achieved great things, greatness, and gone against all the odds to bring about change. I think Greta's only been around for a few years, hasn't she? She's not even in her 20s as yet. So there we go. Yes, Ed Loud, the Doom Goblin, exactly. Sean says you can dismiss it yourself. Just click on the 3 dots and select bottom choice. Yes, that's what I am actually trying to do. If I click it, I don't get a drop-down menu, you see. That's it. I just click it and nothing happens at all. There is no choice. I don't get... No, nothing. It's stuck there. It might be if I refresh the screen. I don't even know if I can refresh it, actually, to be honest with you. Do I get a copy link? No, I can't. I can't even take a... where's my webcam? Look, I'll show you what I can see, and then you can see what I can see. So here's the here's the studio. There's the camera. There's my mouse. You can see my mouse going up, and I'm going up to these. There, look. I'm clicking. You can see the highlights for a moment, but I don't get a drop-down menu. So, sorry about that. What can you do, you people looking at me? A David Attenborough statue would be much more appropriate, absolutely. Dismissed it myself, says Colonel Cragratty. Dismissed it, it worked for me too. Okay, so it's only on my screen. So you can get shot of it yourself, I think. I can't get rid of it, but you can get it from your own screen. There we go. Michael White says, put her on the top of Nelson's column. The Doom Goblin, so that we can't see her. That would be quite a good idea. Ron Langley, something or other. Terrible and very sad to Bonnie. What's the matter, Bonnie? What? Hang on, I've just suddenly missed that. Bonnie says, what did you think about the crowds of people chucking trash all over the beaches last night? Didn't see people chucking trash. Is that true? Give us a ring on 0793 4746 790. The phone lines are open. Give me a ring. Tell me about the trash that people... I tell you what, if you've ever driven on the A27 in the last year, the trash that is on the side, on the verges of the roads. I don't know if there's any other roads that you nominate that are absolutely full of trash. It's dreadful, full of rubbish, I'm going to say. Apparently, trash is an English word that the Americans have used, but it fell out of use. And the English pilgrims, when they went over, used that word. Apparently, it's an English word, but we don't really use it. We associate it more with the Americans. It's a little trivia that came up somewhere. I can't remember where. Like a number of these terms. So there we go. 0793 4746 790. What were they doing? Throwing trash on the beach. I suppose people have been so confined inside. No doubt they've been throwing rubbish all around their house. And when they managed to get out onto the beaches and the landing grounds, they've been assuming that they were at home. Assuming that there's a job for somebody to pick it up. But I don't think there's any money left to employ people to pick up the rubbish from the streets because we've crashed the economy. I don't know if anybody actually noticed that. Locking ourselves down and making sure that we spent, what is it, $1 billion a day or $1 million or whatever it is a day in order to keep people locked up. It's a colossal amount of money. So there we go. Nobody's ringing in. 0793 4746 790. Tell me, Bonnie, you want to ring in and tell me about the trash? I missed it. And now nobody's actually typing, or have I lost the typing thing? Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on the video if you're enjoying it so far. 96 people watching and 31 thumbs up. Maybe that's all it merits. I can appreciate that. Apparently it does something. I never really know what these thumbs up do or the thumbs down. All I know is it tells YouTube that there is some form of engagement, but not sure how engaging it really is. All right, so now I've got some pictures to show you. Now, I've got a few pictures here. Mark Burgess. Is Mark Burgess out there? I'm not sure I've seen his name, but... oh, yeah, there he is. There he is. He says, sickening the litter pictures on the news. I don't have a television anymore, so I try not to watch the news. So now, if I just go into my Vobe Show emails, we've got a whole bunch of stuff. First of all, Mark Burgess has been sending me a whole load of email. I don't know. A lot of it sort of is unrelated to anything, but it's all good fun. So let's have a little look. First of all, he sent me these pictures, which he said he found on the internet. And this is clearly somebody somewhere, and I don't know where this is taken, has had a visitation from the doctor. Perhaps that's the only way you can get the doctors to come round your house if you've got a little bit of COVID, or perhaps you've just got ordinary flu. The doctor can, you've heard of the flying doctors? This is the TARDIS doctor. He can come in and make sure that you're perfectly all right. So that's quite interesting. He also sent in, hang on, I've got to come back out of that and into another one. Unexpected bonus. What's this? He says, Richard, he says, What have we got here? Blah, blah, blah. He sent me some pictures here. Easter break. I was logged on. It seems I'd forgotten something, TV cams. Oh, this is something else. Anyway, he's shown me randomly. I'd sometimes worry about you, Mark, but you've sent in these pictures. I couldn't see any explanation, really, but I assume you've been planting seeds, which has been nice. Here we go. A few seeds. That looks like... Is that a tomato plant? And some other bits and bobs that are growing up there, which is very nice. Somebody's set... Oh, hello, I've gone into the wrong thing there. Somebody sent me a text or something. Do give us a call on 07934746790. Always lovely to hear from you. And what else have you sent me? Other interesting bits he's sent in. He says, be interested if any of the Vobes audience may have seen the medal that was given to me for being in the workforce of the companies that built the Channel Tunnel. Is that what you did? So here's some medals for what? Building the Channel Tunnel. Meanwhile, we have a phone call. Let's find out who that is. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Vobesy. Hello, viewers. Ed Loud here.
Hello, Ed. How the devil are you?
Still round and squidgy.
Oh, marvellous. I'm very pleased. And yet you're still doing that 4-hour walking every day.
Well, not at the moment. I've got an Achilles injury and taking care of my father anyway. So
yeah. Have you
important things to do.
Have you still got the heel?
Just about.
The Achilles heel?
I think it's floating around in my foot somewhere. It doesn't feel very attached.
I've got one of those Archimedes baths. You get in it and the water comes flying out. Put too much water in. Is that water displacement theory or something, isn't it?
Yeah. I never quite grasped that. They tried teaching me that at school. It went over my head, to be honest.
You had to have one of those screws. Apparently, he was very much into his screws.
Oh, yeah, the Archimedes screw. Yeah.
Do you try putting one of those in the wall to hang a picture up? Exactly. So you still down with your father? Are you back on the Romney Marshes?
No, I'm in Essex.
Oh, in Essex.
Yeah.
Are you on the Essex Marshes?
Probably. Yeah, there's some marshes not far away, actually. Yeah.
You're in the Witchfinder General landscape instead of Dr. Sin.
There's lots of greenery around where I am, and so it's not a bad area to be in, I suppose.
Essex is where the Witchfinder General went round burning the witches, isn't it?
Oh, search me, I wasn't around.
No, but I mean, you weren't around when Dr. Sin was doing his stuff down on the Romney Marshes.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was there.
Oh, were you? Were you one of the
I'm older than I look.
Oh, well.
This bloke come along in a big blue box and picked me up and zapped me to the present time.
Oh, the Doctor Who character.
Yeah.
Well, that's all good. So, what do you have a specific thing? I mean, wabbling on. Have you got a specific thing you wanted to ring and talk about?
Not really. Just wanted to rabble.
Oh, good. Well, that's all right.
Yeah. Why not?
Where you are, I mean, going back to this London being built up thing and the rest of the world being built up, where you are is quite heavily built, isn't it? I mean, you've got these great big parks. I remember, must have been a year ago now, when you were telling me about these massive parks, and I didn't believe you, and I had to go and have a look.
There's lots of parks, but yeah, it is very built up, but what you've also got to remember is if you're in the countryside, it's all greenfield, and they're all the same crop. Whereas where I am, there's much less of the monoculture.
Yes.
You've got lots of grass fields, of course, but when you do get into a green space, you're far less likely to find monoculture than you would be in the countryside. So
it does. I mean,
it's apples and pears.
Yes,
they're very, they're different but the same. There's and when you do get something that's beating the monoculture, of course, it's on a much smaller scale, or it's on a housing estate where they've tried to add a bit of greenery and they've put some wildflowers in and things like that. So I wouldn't tell anyone, it's perfect. You're not going to go to London and get these huge vistas that you would up on the South Downs, but it's not as bad as people think, and I've managed to make some half-decent amateurish videos when I'm in London.
Well, I know. I look forward to the videos that you do next. I was reading in this particular book that I was talking about earlier about the expanse of London. It was talking about inner London, And at one point, I can't remember when it was. I think it was about 1890, something like that. There was 8.5 million inhabitants in London. How many? I don't know what the stat is.
It's less now.
Yes, it did go down.
Yeah.
It did go down, and the
There's,
guy in the book.
So few people are in the city centre now.
Yeah, they've.
And then there's
out.
places that they call London, like where I live, that not that long ago were considered Kent. So
yeah. Well, Middlesex. Middlesex was a place, and people round there like to think it's still a place, but most people now think of it as Greater London or part of Greater London, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah. Where I live, there's a cemetery sort of in the houses behind my flat.
Yeah.
Behind the houses behind my flat, not in the houses. That would be weird.
That would be weird if people came in to put their roses on the dead people in your living room.
I know there's a couple of listeners who will know exactly where I live by saying that. So hello to them. They know who they are. But when you walk around in there and you see some of the old graves, it says that, person X died 18, whatever it was, lived there, of Woolwich, Kent. Like James Pearson of Woolwich, Kent.
Absolutely.
And now Woolwich is considered part of London and part of the borough of Greenwich. But I often end up sticking up for London.
I know, and
it does get a bad rap. But,
of course,
it's just different.
I was listening to a radio program, and they were talking about how London now, as a result of the COVID situation, there's all the shops are closing, and it's going to turn back to residents. And they were saying, isn't this terrible? That London, a lot of these shops and where people used to go, speculative builders are coming in, buying up the shops, turning their planning permission so that they can turn it into residence. But actually, the interesting thing was, if you go back in time, it was originally residents that had been, then the residents got displaced and these shops came about. Many of the big shops like Selfridges and places like that, they just got rid of a whole load of slums and things. And suddenly there you've got this very classy bit of stuff. Meanwhile, all these other people, they never quite know where these people go. When you sort of go, well, they've all been displaced and they end up crouching and squatting, rather. Not crouching, I'm sure they do crouch, but on squatting on various commons and having to rob people to pay Paul. And all of that.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that used to go on where I live. Just down the road from where I live, there's the famous road Shooters Hill, which was part of Watling Street, and these street, lots of highwaymen on there.
Is that where it gets its name from? Shooters, highwaymen with shooters.
That's one of the rumours. Yeah, that's one of the rumours. And in fact, all the way along this road, Shooters Hill, and the roads that it sort of joins to, that are kind of the same road, there's loads of pubs. I mean, by modern standards, there's just loads of pubs. And you can imagine back in the day, they were for horses and coaches and things like that. And halfway up the hill, there's a police station, which is now no longer used. But you can really see the historic significance of, highwaymen and people doing dastardly deeds in their times, because it was the main road into Kent. So, again, that's you may not remember the video I did in the woods. That's right adjacent to Shooters Hill.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, no, I do remember it. I remember it vividly.
But I'm itching to get back to my videos, but I had so many circumstances contrive against me. I just kind of gave up and thought I'll wait until I get them.
Last year was pants, wasn't it, for all sorts of reasons? It was just not conducive to doing things. And too many, you did something and there you are out and about and people are questioning you. I mean, I just pressed on with it and just ignored most of it. But then that's, my job. But if you're doing it as a hobby and then the world and his brother there and you're feeling a bit awkward and what have you, it's not ideal. But hopefully the restrictions are going. We've got to look positive, haven't we? And I'm trying now to, forget about the COVID thing and trying to look positive and look to the future. I still have a few whinges up my sleeve, but hopefully we're past the worst and I don't need to piss too many more people off with my very out there views.
I think that's what people respect about you, though. I think most of us know that you speak your mind, and that's a very respectable thing in these day and age.
I mean, I think that's a subject, free speech, that I will always happily talk about, because I think more and more, and in the last year, I think that's been we've seen it with things like Black Lives Matter, Extinction Rebellion, and the COVID thing, that if you go against the mainstream narrative, they'll come for you. And it just seems very sad that you cannot accept that we used to be able to have a conversation and someone would say, I believe in this, and the others in the room would go, well, all right, whatever. And that would be it. Instead of going, get out the pub, get out. And
listen, Vobesy, I'm sorry to cut it short, but I've got some medical staff here to help me with my dad. So
all right, fair enough. Nice to
lovely chatting. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Take care. Bye. There we are. That's Ed Loud, suddenly bored with the old Vobie, one-eyed Kenobi. Talked about no, he's got medical staff coming in ready to give him. I think it was naked nurses had just arrived. You can get them on the internet, apparently. I don't know what nakednurses.com, I think it might be, or the UK version might be slightly different. You can check it out yourself. Brilliant stuff. Thanks for the call. Bonnie says lots of Londoners seem to have moved to Brighton recently. Well, that seems to be the way it's been running, isn't it? For the last 10 years or 20 years, they come down. Londoners come down to Brighton. Brighton has come down to Worthing. Worthingers start going towards Littlehampton. Littlehamptoners go, they just start to go swimming to France and get into the River Arun and try and swim upstream, probably. To Pulborough, no doubt. Who knows? Michael White says, I'd like to live in Stopham, but I don't have 5 million. No, that's 4 million, but not 5. And Colonel Cragratty says, lots of people are relocating to the West Country and will work from home. So house prices there are going up. Yes, of course, people want desirable properties, and those that can afford it will do it. And again, what we end up with is these rural places will be the ghettos of the rich, and that's all very nice, and thank you very much, I'm nicely well off. And those people who aren't so rich have to live in places which are less desirable or more urban. It depends whether you like that sort of thing. Let's find out who this is. Hello, welcome to the show.
Evening, Richard.
Good evening.
It's Jeffrey here.
Hello.
How are you?
Jeffrey Harrison?
That's the correct, yeah.
Marvellous.
Yeah. You should always, because we've met each other before, you should always say, when it comes up, the good-looking one.
Oh, that's right.
The good-looking one.
The good-looking one. That's it.
Yeah.
Nice to have you on the show, Jeffrey. How are you doing down there?
Yeah,
in
not too
Eastbourne?
bad, mate. Yeah, I've been a bit late tonight because the Chinese didn't turn up and the shopping didn't turn up, so I was a bit late this evening.
Oh, I see. So it was the kebab the other night, Chinese tonight.
No. Hold on. We had something completely different. No, what did we have tonight? We had a roast.
Oh, did you? Did you make it yourself, or you just had that?
We got that. No, we got it sent in.
Was it biked in by one of these, food on the back of his backpack type thing?
That's it. Yeah.
Gosh.
His name's Roy. We're getting used to him now. I think he's going to bring a cup next time. We get him a cup of tea. I think.
You ever thought of getting him to bring you a stove and you could have a go at actually cooking some stuff? It's quite fun.
Well, I wouldn't tell the wife that. We live in a bungalow, and I think she's only just found the cooker.
Oh.
You know it.
Well, that's all right. I mean, we've got to keep the economy going, so that's...
Well, of course we have. I just came in about half an hour ago, and you're talking about London.
Yes.
I've just sent you an email.
Oh, yes, campsite, it says.
Yeah, of me on when I was on a bombed-out building site in East London.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of me...
Which one is you?
Brother. I'm the one sitting down on the floor with the brick in my hand, with the
telephone.
No, there's 3 of them there.
Hang on. Right, okay. On the front row?
Yeah, front row, sitting on the floor.
Sitting on the floor. Have I missed somebody?
Yeah, there might be another picture. That's me in the.
I see. Hang on a minute. Oh, here we go. Hang on. I've got the second picture. I didn't realise there were 2 pictures. Okay, so.
Yeah.
You're sitting on the floor with a brick in your hand. Just trying to look.
That's me there.
Which one is that? Still can't work it out. One of them.
Go on. The light white jumper I got on.
Right, jumper in the middle with a cheeky grin.
That's me.
Oh, how lovely. So that's a bombed out site, is it?
That is where we remember going up into the chimneys in the houses there.
Good gracious. And
we just sit around the fire,
You were holding the British flag there, the Union flag rather.
Yeah, that was our campsite, that was.
Oh, was it? And what's that building behind you?
That is Hughes Mansions in Valence Road, East London.
What part of London? What?
Stepney, Whitechapel.
Oh, Stepney. Oh, okay, Whitechapel.
In Whitechapel.
So this was a pretty bombed out place then during the war.
Oh, it was, mate, yeah.
Oh, it was,
mate. My little secret, my little thing I used to do when I was that age is to climb up inside the chimney.
Really?
Yeah, and because inside the chimney it's a little step, isn't there, where the smoke goes up, bends round and goes up to the top.
Yeah.
That's where I used to sit. In that little bendy bit.
Oh, and for what? For long time? Did people know you were there?
No, just go to sleep, fall asleep. The only person in the world I was.
Good God. And your parents didn't worry about you?
Not at all, mate. If you look at one of them other pictures, behind me there's a railway line.
Hang on.
And if you go back...
Yeah, the railway line with the bridge there.
Yeah, we used to climb up, Richard, and I used to have marks on the top of my head. We used to have the rail hit our head, and we used to hit to see how many, when the trains went above us, we used to hit the wheels to count them.
You hit the wheels?
On the railway.
And you're still alive today to tell the tale?
Well, London Hospital was about 500 yards from where we lived, and they reckon that was my second home.
Bloody hell. That's amazing. So this group of people that I'm looking at, there you are holding the Union flag. Was this this was an impromptu thing? Someone's taking a photograph. Obviously, that must be a grown-up.
Yes, it was one of the guys there's sister who was much older than us.
Oh, right.
The one holding the flag in the brown on the right-hand side is my brother, my older brother.
Oh, nice.
In the brown jumper.
Yeah.
And it was one of the sisters who had a camera.
Are you in touch with any of these other fine figures of people?
No, only my brother.
Only your brother, yeah. No, I mean, apart from him, obviously.
No, we left about when I was 9. I was about 6 or 7 there.
Good heavens. What year was this then?
Oh, I don't know. I was born in 58.
Right.
So I was about 6 or 7 there, yeah.
So London had been bombed. There hadn't been a huge amount of development then after the war. I mean, there you are.
Not there, Richard. No, the things we used to do over there, mate, it was just... And we used to smash up... what's the roofing stuff that's dangerous?
Asbestos.
Yeah, and throw it on the fire because it all goes blue when you throw it on the fire.
Oh, my giddy. And you're still alive to tell the tale. That's the amazing thing. That's incredible.
I know, mate. The things we used to get up to.
Goodness.
Yeah. But we stayed over there. No one they left us alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just got on with it.
Just got on. We could be over there at 7 o'clock in the morning and go back about 5 o'clock.
Blimey.
And you know what I mean?
Happy days, eh? Couldn't do that now, could you? Couldn't do that now.
Of course not, mate. The best times were really, all I remember, we laughing so much.
Yes. It looks a great bunch of kids there, and you know, look at your old jumpers and all of that. No Nike or Adidas.
No. Well, I was going to say that when I look smart there on that on the right hand side because don't forget I was passed down from my brother. Them trousers must have gone up to me chest.
Are you the one on the far left of the screen?
Left, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah. How lovely.
Yeah.
Smart little kid. How old are you there, roughly? About 9?
I'm sure I'm about 9 there, because it was just after that we just started to. Because them guys, I just don't remember no more.
No. So
we moved up to Sarnstead then. From there.
It's funny. It's funny looking at pictures like that. Now, I remember looking at a picture in a book that was taken. I think it was like that similar sort of scene. A bunch of kids all looking a bit happy and scruffy and all laughing and what have you. And they were sitting in a fountain in Liverpool. It was, and it was in a book, and it was about 1910. And these kids were about 10 and 11. But the thing about that was, you knew what was coming because the First World War was coming.
Right.
And you knew that, so maybe it was a bit earlier, that maybe it was like 1905 or something. When I looked at these kids and I thought, well, they're all about 10. And then you could see that the First World War was going to come. And you could just know that a large portion of those kids would have gone into the war and may not have come back. And that snapshot in time is... You know, there they are laughing. It was so poignant because you know the history. Of course, looking at your picture there, luckily nothing terrible befell you.
No.
You know, we went through from then. What did we do? We went through the Cold War and the nuclear thing, but nothing actually happened.
No.
The worst that could happen is that you could have got COVID.
That's true. Well, that's true. Well, my brother told me as well, when we was actually getting them photos taken, do you know them flats that I was telling you about behind us?
Yeah.
They were filming that pop group. You know, you were talking about it the other day, A Brick in the Wall.
Oh, what, the Pink Floyd lot?
Yeah, they were filming that scene and that in them flats.
In those flats there? Blimey.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So we missed that day.
I wonder what it looks like now in Stepney. I bet there's a whole load of houses and tower blocks or something.
No, don't. I took my wife up there one day. She wouldn't get out of the car.
Would she not?
No.
Couldn't believe what they'd done.
Yeah, because that is Stepney and Whitechapel. That is right in the middle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we still go up for our pie mash and bagels.
Bagels?
Well, you call them bagels, don't you?
Yeah, you call them bagels. Is that because you have to buy them?
No, well, it depends if they're outside. We used to nick them. Depends, Richard, you know.
Yeah. You used to nick them. Bloody cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everything was locked down then, all them days ago. Everything was locked away.
Yes. You'd have the butcher's dog chasing you, wouldn't you?
Of course we would. Would have sold that as well.
Yes, sold that. Made a few bob on the side.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
Yeah, mate.
Happy days. Thanks for sending those pictures in. That's really lovely.
Yeah, all right, mate, when you were talking about London. That was brilliant.
Yeah, no,
That was brilliant.
fantastic. No, really nice to see that. How wonderful is that? A little bit of a good old-fashioned misspent youth.
That's it. It looks like one of that. You remember the film called Kes years ago?
Kes, yeah, with the kestrel and stuff.
Yeah, and it was always because all them kids running around and all over the place. That always reminds me of London.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, how lovely. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Talk to you soon.
No problem, mate. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, look after yourself.
And you, mate.
There we go. That was Jeff from Eastbourne now, but originally up there, Stepney, Whitechapel Way, and amazing pictures. Time we're running out on the show tonight, so we'll go straight. We've got a couple more videos to get through, and then that will be it. Fantastic. Let's see what's in the video box. So we're going to catch up. Sorry about this weird screen. I've got to improve this now because that does look a bit bizarre. We're going to catch up with Bernie is going to something called Sewage Castle, as far as I can make out.
I don't think it's mackerel time yet. It's quite a phenomenon when the mackerel come along. They drive all the whitebait excuse me, right on shore basically. They trap them between the beach and the sea. So as the water almost boils with all these mackerel eating the whitebait jump like lemmings onto the beach, and you can actually scoop them up in your hand. Oh dear, my throat is very dry this morning, sorry. Walking back up this way, this is the tail end, if you like, of the ride on the Dotto train from where we've been before, when I was at the posh end of Meads, down at the Holywell terminus. Yeah, I get around a bit, don't I? Obviously somebody with a bit more money there built a more elaborate shed, complete with the seemingly obligatory graffiti these days. This is a lovely morning. Oh, what a contrast to yesterday. lovely calm sea. Now, if you have a look, you'll see sticking out there the tops of the groin posts. Now, we've seen groins elsewhere, so you get a rough idea of how tall those posts are, and that's how much the bank has had to be built up here in order to... That's an interesting name for a boat. Let's have some. Fossils. You're invited to look for them. And obviously some have been discovered within this stonework. Interesting. I thought it might have gone down over the beach, but obviously doesn't. Now you see what I mean about the groins. I showed you the tops of them just now. Now you'll see how tall they are and how much shingle come in and how much has already been washed away from here.
Well, it looks like we get to the sewage castle in the next episode, so very much looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Bernie. That was fascinating stuff. We have another phone call. Let's find out who that is. Oh, hang on, my headphones have just fallen to bits and the mic flag has dropped down, but don't let that concern you too much. Hello, caller. Hello, hello. Anybody there? 3 knocks for yes, 2 knocks for no. Obviously not. Not to worry, that's no problem at all, because we have one more video to go to, and that's Mike. Now, in last episode that we did of the Vobes show, Mike showed us his front garden and the meadow that he's growing there and how the changes have gone past. Well, in this one, he's gone into the back garden to show us the contrast of what's growing in there.
Hello, this is Mike here again with an issue of the meadow from the back garden, which we haven't seen for a couple of months now. It's changed quite a lot. The cats are there, you might be able to see them. Sunshine and bird. Anyway, this is all new. This is a herb garden. There's another lavender hedge here as well. Parsley, rosemary, sage, thyme at the end there, and fennel over there. There's some wildflower plants I actually bought. Self-heal, self-heal there. Bethany, milk thistle. Some more roses here which will come into flower soon, hopefully in a couple of months. This is not a wildflower, it's actually Japanese reed. I thought it would brighten up. Some more snake's head fritillary there, planted in the ground very recently. So this is all being planted with wild seeds now. You might be able to see the seeds there. Another hazel hedge here. Bare root, of course, this is all new. More the bare root there. They're just going on. Livingstonia palm, I think you've seen that before. This is the shaded area here. This was all undercover until yesterday, but I've raked it and mown it. A few footprints there. It's all got wildflower seeds for a shady area. This is all new. I've cut like the palm so there's a bit more space here. All new here, new wildflowers. There's the snake's head fritillaria again, and some plants for a shady area, the button fern. A beautiful button fern, a hart's tongue fern, 3 hart's tongues fern there, and there's a little fern there. Let's go around here. This is all new, just planted with wildflower seed at the moment. So this is Mike signing off from the back garden, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Well, I imagine that what with all this dry weather, you'll be out there with the old hose pipe, making sure you get all that dry ground rather, nice and wet for the all that wonderful flowers and plants and horticulture that's going on in your garden. Thanks so much, Mike, for showing us that. That was absolutely brilliant. Somebody rang during that video. I don't know who it is. You've got about 30 seconds to give us a call if you so wish, but that's pretty much the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. It's been an interesting show, a bit of an experiment at the beginning with the webcam. I think in future we'll just have one person at a time or 2 people rather than that whole scattergun, but it's all good fun to get people on and see what people look like, and also inside their homes. It's always a bit of a laugh, isn't it? And thank you to everybody who's submitted the videos. We've got Sean James Cameron, Robert Croser, Bernie and Mike, to Mike Burgess for the photos, to the lovely Judith and Julia for moderating, for wonderful Ed Loud and Jeffrey for calling in, and of course all you guys out there typing and watching. Thanks so much for being part of the show this evening. Back again on Friday. I gather it's a Good Friday this Friday, so let's hope it's a good show. Hoping the lovely Julia will either be here live or remotely. It depends how she gets on with her family. But yeah, we may well be eating Easter eggs, who knows, on the show, because after all, it is an excuse to get the chocolate out. I want to know, what is your favourite type of chocolate? If you've got an Easter egg this year, let's have a picture. Send a picture to me, richard@vobes.com, with an Easter egg in your hand, and let's get a rogues gallery for the Easter show this weekend. That would be great. But anyway, that's it for us here in the studio. Thank you for watching. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta, bye-bye.